You know that moment when you finally decide to upgrade your backyard grill. You find a budget, portable grill on a sale page, bring it home, and a week later you're standing over a half-cooked steak because the burners won't stay even, the side shelf wobbles, and the tiny cooler you thought was a bonus barely holds a few cans? I've seen that regret play out a lot, and it makes anyone hesitate before dropping a few $100s on something that promises a full outdoor kitchen but could end up feeling like a collection of cheap add-ons. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So the question is, does the KoolMore Reserve Outdoor Kitchen Island actually feel like a smarter buy? Or is it just another flashy piece that will leave you wishing you'd stuck with the simple grill you already have? Let's start with the reality of setting up an outdoor kitchen island. This isn't a freestanding cart you can pop out of your garage and start cooking on. It's a 6-burner grill built into a 72-inch stainless steel island that also houses a side burner, a sink, a storage cabinet, and a small beverage refrigerator. That means you need a solid, level surface, usually a concrete pad or a deck that can support a unit that weighs well over 300 pounds. You also need a gas line that can feed the 6 main burners and the side burner, plus an electrical outlet for the fridge and any lighting you might want to add later. If you've already invested in those utilities or are willing to have a professional run them, you're already ahead of the curve. If you're hoping to plug it into a standard backyard outlet and hook a hose up to a propane tank on the fly, you'll run into roadblocks quickly. What I found most interesting about the Reserve collection is how it tries to solve the everything in one place problem that many backyard chefs complain about. The main grill features stainless steel grates paired with a cast iron griddle. In practice, that means you can sear a steak over the high heat of the primary burners, then slide it onto the griddle for a quick finish without losing any juices. I've seen a lot of people struggle with the transition from grill to griddle when they have separate appliances. Having them integrated saves you the hassle of moving pans and worrying about temperature drops. The side burner is another practical piece. It's not just a decorative flame. It's positioned where you can keep a pot of sauce simmering while the main grill works on the main course. Imagine a summer evening where you're smoking ribs on 2 of the burners, flipping burgers on another, and the side burner is holding a pot of corn on the cob butter that stays hot until the last kernel is done. That kind of multitasking is what the Reserve Island is built for, and it actually works when you have the space to spread out. Storage is often the silent killer of outdoor kitchen setups. A lot of people buy a grill and then realize they have no place to keep spatulas, meat thermometers, or the extra charcoal they keep just in case. The Reserve Island comes with a lockable cabinet that runs the length of the island, offering shelves that are high enough for large trays of prep work, but low enough to reach comfortably while you're standing at the grill. I've seen other units where the storage is just a shallow shelf that ends up being more decorative than useful. Here you can stash cutting boards, a set of grilling tools, and even a small cooler for drinks, though you'll likely want that dedicated refrigerator instead. Speaking of that refrigerator, it's a stainless steel cabinet that's powered by a standard 120-volt outlet. It's not a full-size fridge, but it's big enough for a few 6-packs of beer, a bottle of wine, or a small batch of homemade lemonade. The real win is that you don't have to run back to the house for a drink in the middle of a busy grill session. For anyone who likes to entertain outdoors, that convenience factor translates into smoother flow and fewer interruptions. Now, no product is without its trade-offs, and the Reserve Island is no exception. The most obvious drawback is size. At over 6 feet wide, it dominates a patio and requires a fairly large footprint. If you have a modest balcony or a compact backyard, trying to fit this island will likely feel like forcing a couch into a studio apartment. It also means you need to consider traffic flow. People will naturally gravitate to the island, so you need enough room for guests to move around without bumping into the burners or the sink. Weight and installation are another practical consideration. Because it's constructed mostly of stainless steel and includes a built-in fridge, the unit is heavy enough that you'll need at least 2 people to maneuver it onto the pad, and most installers will recommend anchoring it to the concrete for safety. That adds to the upfront cost, even if the unit itself is priced competitively. If,